baby back ribs. That's a funny story. I'll bring that up another time. I actually got into an argument with the woman behind the meat counter at Shaw's, and that's a wicked funny story. I'll bring that up a little bit later. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm actually just crushing the garlic in my hand, or you could put it flat down, take your palm and crush it. Okay, that'll help you remove some of the outer coating. You know, if you're just going to chop it up or dice it, I mean, it doesn't matter how you get it all open. But if you're going to get fancy sometime and you just want to have shavings of garlic, whether you deep fry them as garnish or you just, that's how you want to prepare it, then you could take a little more precaution getting the skins off, and there are different techniques of doing that. You can always look that up online. Sometimes putting them in a coffee can with the cover on and shaking them, that'll all the skin will come off. Alright, so basically I'm just going to chop this up kind of roughly. I'm using a steak knife and it's cutting nicely. I feel confident with the knife that I'm not going to cut myself. It's sharp enough where there's a lesser chance of injury happening. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, because for me, if you're cooking for your friends, yeah, maybe you want to make, you know, but this is going to be kind of rough. I'm hungry. It is, you know, it's almost 6 o'clock. I want to get this on the road. So you do what you got to do. Okay, so got the garlic, got all that going. So I'm going to put the smaller burner on probably between low and medium, because I don't know how the heat actually works on this particular unit. And we don't want to caramelize the onions or burn them in the garlic. We want to kind of bring them up to a reasonable temperature where they just kind of cook off and they become semi-transparent. And that's when you can, start, like, the whole house starts to smell. You know, you can fool somebody by just cooking onions and garlic and pepper in a pan. You know, they come over, wow, you're a wonderful cook. It smells delicious. Yeah, no shit. But we're going out for pizza. Okay, so I have some Wesson. Probably shouldn't use that name, but I have some vegetable oil. So put a little bit of vegetable oil in. Alright, let's do that again. Okay. So I put the onions and the garlic in the pan. I'm going to heat it up, and I'm going to add some olive oil. Actually, let's do this again. Alright. Alright, so what I've done is I've got the heat on, and I've got the onions and the garlic in here. Typically I like to bring the pan up to a temperature where I'm going to then enter the onions and garlic into, but in this case where I'm just kind of slowly getting them to cook, I can put in a little bit of oil. Alright, let's see, I've got a little bit of pepper. I've actually kind of upgraded to a mixed pepper, so there's variations of different pepper. And I'm going to put in a little bit of salt. Okay? And just let that cook down. While we're doing that, I'm going to prepare the steak. Okay, which is pretty easy. I've got, I think, two good pieces in there. Now, because I'm putting it on top of the broiler without any aluminum foil or anything like that, I've got to be careful. I'm just going to put them over. So look at this piece here. This is a huge piece. So I'm going to cut that down probably to 2 pieces. And you don't want cross-contamination, so make sure you have cutting boards for both vegetables and meats. Of course, you want to do chicken last if you're going to be chopping anything. But with beef, it's a little safer, but still you want to be careful. So I've got 2 pieces here that will fit nicely over the broiler rack and probably in the middle where the cross beam goes across. Okay? And I'm going to do that now because I can always cook my steak and then take it out and let it sit for a little bit. Alright, so. Alright, pull out the pan on the bottom rack, pull out the top rack. Okay, this didn't cut. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let's see. Boom. Okay, there we go. Alright. Now remember, I still have this on low. And you want to place the steak right over the middle rack. Okay, that's good. And of course, you want to line up, you want to make sure that your pan below is going to catch the juices. Otherwise, it's just going to be a mess. And you don't want to fool around with it. You want to just place it on there and leave it alone because as it's cooking, it's going to stick. And once you start moving it around, it's just like a burger in a frying pan. You start touching it, it's going to fall apart. So, gotta have a plan ready before you start playing around. Alright, that looks good. Here's a little Scooby snack I'll throw right in the bottom of the pan. It's going to cook up anyways. Now another trick here is like I don't have any vegetables, but if I did, I could cut up some vegetables, put a little bit of olive oil in there, some seasoning, and just let them cook in there while it's broiling. It's not a problem. Or you could even place them on top, like, and we'll get it. I'll show you one of those recipes a little bit later. Right, boom. Okay. So we've got the broiler going. We've got it on low. We got a dirty plate. Let's put it in the sink. All right. We'll let that go. I can hear this. This is going. You'll notice I'm using the same utensil to mix this concoction, but I believe the temperature is high enough where I'm not going to get any cross-contamination, but maybe I shouldn't be doing that. I'm using a different utensil, something like a spoon. Alright, no biggie, but I'm going to keep that there for the steak. Alright, so we've got onion, we've got tomato, we've got the cheese. I'm going to cut up a few pieces just to have ready. Alright, this is cooking nicely at this temperature. I'm cutting the cheese pretty thin because when I put it under the broiler, I don't want it to take all day. I just want a little bit. Right, you got it. Why not use it? Might not want cheese and crackers over the next day, but damn, you'll have some cheese over your steak and tomato. Right? Good stuff. Thanks, Cheryl. It's actually pretty quiet upstairs, and I talked to my neighbors, and I told them what I'm doing down here. So there's a good chance they're trying to listen in, laughing at me. See, I still got a half an onion. Plus, pretty much got a quarter of an onion. 3/4 of an onion. Oh yeah, that smells good. Yeah. So I'm going to cook that down a little bit longer. It's almost like making a spaghetti sauce, But I'm just going to make a little bit, something just to give me a sauce with the steak. I don't have anything else.